What up, this is my review of Ring of Honor Reckless Abandon. Open up with a promo from the Age of Fall, just a typical promo. First matchup was Seth Skyfire versus Claudio Castagnoli. Pretty much a squash match, very short match. You did see them somewhat showcase Seth Skyfire a little. He did get in some offense, but mostly Claudio being dominant during this match. Decent opener at best. Seth Skyfire is one talent that I would like to see Ring of Honor put on more shows, and definitely he's a good talent. About 2 stars, decent way to start the show off with. Then up next was a promo from Bryan Danielson talking about his match with Necro Butcher later on the night, basically saying that, okay, Morishita's one tough son of a bitch, and now I'm going to be taking on Necro Butcher, and this basically just hit a test match for, taking on Morishita and relaxed rules later on in the night. Up next was Adam Pearce versus Delirious. This was a decent match at best. It was a false count anywhere match. Not a huge fan of Adam Pearce at all. This feud with the Hangman's 3 has been pretty much terrible. You saw some decent crowd brawling, some stiff chair shots, just, a typical false count anywhere match. Nothing really special in the match. The way the match ends, there was a scaffold out there. You saw Adam Pearce climb up it. Delirious got up there, called him, put him in the Cobra Stretch submission for the victory, and Adam Pearce taps out. About just like the first match, about a 2-star match, a decent match at best. Then up next was a promo from Erick Stevens. Then the next match was Chris Hero versus Jigsaw. This was, a typical Chris Hero match. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. It was, overall a okay match, I would say. You saw some good back and forth action. Jigsaw got in his maneuvers. Chris Hero's great antics, like always. Larry Sweeney being out there. Just a good overall, I wouldn't say a wrestling match, but, some like sports entertainment type stuff. Decent match, I would say about 2.5 stars. I did enjoy some of it. Up next was a promo from Aries. Then the next match was Necro Butcher versus Bryan Danielson. This was a pretty brutal match, like you would expect from any Necro Butcher match. Not a huge fan of him, but I will gotta say one thing about him is that he does take a lot of pain. But the one thing I do have a problem with Necro is that his selling ability at sometimes is very, very piss poor. But sometimes he does okay. When he's in there with a good talent, he can have, somewhat of superb kind of hardcore S-type match. Saw brutal kicks, brutal strikes. Bryan Danielson got in his submission maneuvers during this match. The way the match ends, Necro taps out of the cat mutilation from Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson comes up the win. About 3-star match, actually a little better than what I was expecting. Up next was Silas Young versus Nigel McGuinness in a non-title match. This was a very good match. Silas Young's a good talent. Nigel was still somewhat hurt at this time, but it was still a decent match. These two have had good matches in AEW and I think maybe at some other indie shows. And Silas Young's a good talent. Nigel McGuinness showcased himself very good in this match. I would say about a 3 1/4 star. Wasn't great, but it was a good match. Up next was a 3-way between Human Tornado versus Erick Stevens versus Davey Richards, which was originally just going to be Human Tornado versus Erick Stevens, but Davey Richards got himself involved in this match and turned the match into a 3-way. A decent match, some good stuff in here. You saw Davey Richards and Erick Stevens work well together. Human Tornado got in his spots. The way the match ends when Human Tornado taps out of the Kimura from Davey Richards. Davey Richards wins the match. Then at the end of this, you see Davey Richards and Erick Stevens get into it, and that's the way that segment ends. Up next was the match of the night, which was Roderick Strong versus Aries in a 30-minute Ironman match. Did have a few problems with this Ironman match, due in part that I didn't like there were so many pinfalls within a 30-minute time limit, or tap outs, because some of it wasn't pinfalls, it was submissions. But still, at the same time, I thought it was too many falls. First off, it starts off with about 10 to 15 minutes, no pinfalls, just great back and forth action, great technical wrestling, just good overall match. Roderick Strong gets Austin Aries gets the first pinfall by making Roderick Strong tap out of the horns of Aries. Then Aries gets the next pinfall by rolling up strong. So it's 2-0. Then Roderick Strong hits the Gibson driver, so it's 2-1. Aries then Aries taps out of the stronghold, so it's 2-2 now. Then the next pinfall, Strong gets to make it a 3-2 advantage on his side. Strong pins Aries after Aries hits the brainbuster and then goes for 450, but he doesn't hit the 450. Strong gets his knees up, blocks it, and just basically rolls him up for that. Then you see Austin Aries trying to fight for the pinfall within the last few minutes. About 2 minutes are still left. It's still the 3-2 advantage. 3-2 advantage. Strong gets pinned by basically Aries using a somewhat version of the Oklahoma roll for the pinfall. So it's 3-3 right now. Then at the end of this, maybe about 20-30 seconds left in the match, you see Aries get Strong into the horns of Aries. Aries makes Strong tap out, so Aries wins the 30-minute Ironman match 4-3. Good match, but I thought it was way too many pinfalls. But you did see a lot of good stuff in this match. Only thing that hurt it was the amount of pinfalls. It was still a good match, but it wasn't as great as what it should have been. I would say about 3 3/4 star match. Up next was the tag team scramble match between the Vulture Squad of Ruckus and Jack Evans versus the Hangman's 3 of Brent, Albright, and BJ Whitmer versus Age of the Fall of Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs versus the Briscoe brothers. This was a very good main event, I would say. Definitely got the crowd back. Definitely got the crowd into it. The crowd was really into this match. Just, it was somewhat of a spot fest, but a good spot fest. So I definitely enjoyed this match. Good back and forth action from all of these teams. All of them got in their spots, maneuvers, everything. Just a good overall tag match, fast paced match, kind of like an X Division type tag match. It was a good main event. Was expecting maybe a little more from it, but you did see a lot of good work within this match from the Briscoes with Tyler Black and Jimmy Jacobs. Ruckus and Jack Evans did a lot of high flying during this match. Just a good overall match. You saw Brent Albright get in his maneuvers. BJ Whitmer did his stuff. Just good overall match. Everyone did what they were supposed to. The winners of this match came when Jack Evans hit the 630 onto Mark Briscoe for the pinfall. This is a non-title match. 3.5 stars. Definitely enjoyed this match. Overall, the show was pretty decent, but I was expecting a little more from it, so I would probably give the show about 7.5 because there were some good stuff on the show, but at the same time, I was expecting a little more from the Ironman match, and the main event could have been just a little bit better. But overall, I would say it's not a show I would definitely go out your way to get, but it is worth the watch. Definitely, and yeah, that's it. Peace.